Hi, I'm Eddie from Toolden and I'm here with Tom from Makita UK. He's going to be showing us the Makita SP001G 14 volt max plunge saw.
It is. So, the SP001G, wow. I'll be honest, it's probably one of my favourite machines personally. It's really the gift that keeps on giving. There's quite a lot of features. It's packed with features with this one, so let's start from the beginning. As you say, it's a 40 volt max machine, part of the XGT line that we have. It is a plunge saw, so it's designed for really doing things like worktops, sheet materials, like MDF, plywood, anything like that really, okay? It runs on a brushless motor, so it's really nice and efficient. Again, you'll get a long run time out there as well. The blade that it utilises is dedicated for a plunge saw, so it's really nice and thin. You get a real clean cut, again, adding to that run time and more cuts per charge, which is great. In terms of technology, first of all, it does come with the AWS chip adapter on there as well, so it can take for the AWS Bluetooth. So as soon as you press that trigger, your dust extraction is going to start up. So first of all, that's great. Secondly, in the name plunge saw, it is compatible, as you can see, with our guide rail system. It does have that channel in the bottom there to fit onto our guide rails. Once you place it onto the guide rail, you may have to adjust it utilising these two little cams just like so. So once you've placed it onto your guide rail system, you can take out any of that lateral movement side to side, adjusting those cams, giving you a nice smooth run across that track. This machine does go up to a 48-degree bevel, which is really quite nice, past that 45. There's a little wing nut at the back which you have to undo, and another little wing nut at the front. Now that does go across to 45. To get to your 48 degrees, there is a little switch here. Just move that up and out of the way, and it will go all the way over to 48 degrees. To lock it into the track, as you see, if I let go, that's going to want to fall off. So to combat that, we do have this little slide switch just here, which does actually lock it into the guide rail system so that you can bevel it over and it's going to stay in place, which is really, really nice. As well as 48 degrees to the right, it does go -1 degree to the left as well. So if you're doing a back cut on a piece of material, or things like the leading edge on a door, for example, it's a lot more precise than trying to use something like a planer where there's, you know, quite a lot of experience required to use a machine like that. Less likely for things to go wrong. So you've got the guide of the track there to keep you nice and straight. So it's a great machine for that. Where this machine for me really comes into its own is when you cut in things like worktops. If you've got a normal circular saw for a worktop, that you've set the depth and you're going through it, the likelihood is if you cannot reverse that worktop over to reduce the breakout, I'll show you this example here. You can see with the circular saw you might get a little bit of chipping and breakout on the top surface. Again, if you've not got the option to turn it around. With this plunge saw, you've got the option of utilising what we call the dip mode on there. And I'll just show you what that is. At the top of the machine, you've got this little tiny switch just here. If you engage that, what that does, that limits how far you can actually depress the machine. So you can see there it's positively stopped just a couple of mil below the surface and beneath that track, allowing it to cut and groove, keeping it really nice and clean and scoring that top veneer layer. Then you can remove that pin and get to your full depth that you've already preset on the machine, giving you a nice, clean finish on the worktop. So it's a really, really precise tool for that application specifically. Depth of cut on this machine up to 56 mil, so quite a good capacity for that machine as well. Combining that with all the features like the AWS that we mentioned, for me, it really is the gift that keeps on giving.
Top question of the day. How do you change the blade on this machine? Fantastic
question. So for this one, a lot of people assume that you do have to take that front guard cover off. No, it's a lot easier than that. If I draw your attention to this part here, you've got a little blue circular section with a little detent. You release that pin utilising the top button on the top, align that pin and detent together, and then miraculously, that central spindle bolt is nicely aligned in that window, and the fact that that housing is nice and square means that we can rest it on its side, work away without any fuss, release that pin, and then you're ready to go again.
That's brilliant. Well, you look very excited by this.
Love this machine.
Love it. Get yours today from Toolden.co.uk.